Joe Rogan was, trending on Twitter again because he basically said that he thinks DeSantis would make a good president. I find that to catch my hair on fire. He would be a terrible president. But why I'm bothered by this the most is Joe Rogan's supposed to be a guy that is all about not having censorship, right? And how do you square that with supporting DeSantis? Here's a guy, not just the Don't Say Gay bill, right? This is a guy that banned 54 math books. You banned 54 math books because why?
Didn't he do something against, it's foggy in my memory, but didn't he also have some kind of ban on some kind of protesting too recently, Ron DeSantis?
Yeah, he did. No, you're not wrong. We could go down the list. Point being is DeSantis is only anti-censorship if he's down with the program. If it's something that he doesn't like, bring out all the guns. So, the guy is a ginormous hypocrite. But, part of why he banned the 54 math books was because he was claiming that they had CRT references in them. These were books that are K through 12. I guarantee there's no such thing.
They're math books. What does that have to do? I just don't even, I can't even, I saw that article and I was just trying to wrap my head around I don't even see the connection there. That's just, it's a math book. That has, Kurt Vonnegut, rest in power. But Kurt Vonnegut had a theory on George W. Bush that the real reason George W. Bush wanted to invade Iraq and wanted to go after the Middle East, the real reason he wanted to do it, or one of the reasons at least, was because they had a large role in the advancements of algebra and different mathematics like that. And George W. Bush was mad about that because it was just so hard for him in school. So he was kind of like, well, we're going to go to war over this. So I don't know if there's some of that energy going on. I don't know if maybe Ron DeSantis is like, there's been brown people in charge of some of this math stuff. We're not teaching it anymore. You kids go pray with your football coach and shut up.
This is the math, because I don't know what the math scandal, I don't know what you want to call this. So the Florida Department of Education announced last week that it was rejecting the use of dozens of mathematics textbooks in K through 12 public schools throughout the state, ostensibly because they contain content that discuss critical race theory. That's the thing that kind of blows my mind. Critical race theory is a graduate level thing. This is not something you would even study as an undergrad in college. It's graduate level. I didn't come across it till I was in grad school. And since I did my thesis paper on the history of scientific racism, it was something that I looked at that point. And so they've turned it into this sort of boogeyman of leftward progressive thinking, I guess, because now it's all you see over and over again, right?
Yeah.
When asked to provide examples, however, neither the department nor Governor DeSantis would do so, in spite of claiming that the process has been transparent. So here again, you have some guy saying, yeah, no, I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to tell you that's the case, and you accept it. Also problematic. In a statement landing the decision to reject the titles, DeSantis said that he was grateful that the department conducted such a thorough vetting of these textbooks to ensure that they comply with the law of censorship, let's be clear. The department stated that it had engaged in a transparent instructional materials review process that ensures the public has the opportunity to review and comment on submitted textbooks. Anyway, it goes on to talk about the 54 mathematics books that were rejected. 41% of the 132 titles that were submitted for review, the department did not include the names of the books. But interestingly enough,
doesn't this stuff make you so
infuriated?
When you see, especially, and I'm not going to sit here and say that other places in the world don't have their problems. Of course they do. Everywhere does. But when you see news throughout the world where you're just like, they've come up with a new high-speed rail that goes from London to Paris overnight. Isn't that great? And it's low cost. And then it's like, what are you up to, United States? And we're just like, we're mad at math books. And you're just like, why? Why are we so freaking nuts here?
The other thing that I wanted to talk about with DeSantis is that he has this, I don't know, flaming idiot. Am I allowed to say this? His press secretary, I guess she is, Christina Pushaw, puts out the most crazy tweets. I don't know if anybody has paid attention to her on Twitter, but she's always out there making just really incendiary, extreme viewpoints about DeSantis and the things that he's doing there. And I think it matters because she's part and parcel, obviously, to his administration. But if Joe Rogan was actually paying attention to the things that she was saying, the things that DeSantis was doing, I think you could see quite clearly that if he is really a first speech or a first right amendment absolutist, anti-censorship, that this is not your guy. I mean, banning math books. We're now in the area of government, right? This is government doing the banning. So this is definitely exceeding any sort of censorship issue, in my opinion. I mean, what do you think, Ron? What is your thoughts on Joe Rogan saying this?
Well, I think that, I don't really care what Joe Rogan thinks all that much, but I do think there is a huge trend where people are downplaying Ron DeSantis and the danger that he is. And I think a lot of people are being fooled by him. And you can't just point your finger at Joe Rogan. I mean, if you're going to point your finger at people kind of in the public spotlight with big platforms, point your finger at Joe Rogan, sure. But you know who else you can point your finger at, especially as of recent? Bill Maher. Bill Maher, I mean, Crystal Ball, when she was on his show, she did have a fantastic appearance. And she also brought up how dangerous freaking Ron DeSantis is. Yeah. Bill Maher downplayed it. Bill Maher, he won't be tweeting on the toilet at Bette Midler, which, first of all, Trump tweets jokes, Bill. Very fresh stuff. Very fresh stuff. That's really timely and topical. Look, Trump's not in office anymore, okay, pal? Yeah, but look, I mean, Ron DeSantis, I think, is maybe the most dangerous person in government right now. I mean, he's up there. It's like you look at people like him, you look at people like Mitch McConnell, you look at people like Adam Schiff. It's not just Republicans, it's Democrats too. You look at people like Pete Buttigieg. There are some really freaking dangerous people. And Ron DeSantis is at the top of the list. Yeah. I mean, those are some of the most dangerous people that, giving them the true levers of power. And DeSantis would be basically politically what Trump was, but just wasn't able to accomplish because he was Trump and he was such a goofball. Yeah, DeSantis would be able to frickin' do that. And there's a good chance Ron DeSantis is going to be the next president.
There is a good chance that he's definitely running. That's pretty clear. He was actually here in California doing some fundraisers even. So, yeah, I think DeSantis is running. I do think he's more effective than Trump would be. I do think it's really frightful that guys like Bill Maher and Joe Rogan are normalizing the guy like he's not a big deal. He has some very extreme viewpoints that are very concerning.
Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to Status Coup's daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and Fridays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.